So last time we reached operators and their priorities. So today we are going to finish. I'm going to try so that we can finish this module, and then I will leave you to do the test. So operators and their priorities. So far we've treated each operator as if it has no connection with others. Obviously, such a deal and simple situation is a rarity in real programming. So operators have connections with others. Consider the following expression: 2 plus 3 times 5. So in school, you probably learned about body mass. Okay, everyone learned about body mass if you're in school. So here, you should know that multiplication will be executed before the addition. So here it will be 3 times 5, which is 15, and then it will be 15 plus 2. That is how the computer will perform this operation. So the answer will be 17. The phenomenon that causes operators to act before others is known as the hierarchy of priorities. So the phenomenon that causes operators, for example, the phenomenon that causes the multiplication here to be performed before the addition is called the hierarchy of priorities. Python precisely defines the priorities of all operators and assumes that the operators of a higher priority perform the operations before the operators of a lower priority. So Python ensures that the operators that have higher priorities are executed first, and then the operators that have lower priorities are executed last. So we know that multiplication has a higher priority than addition. That is why here multiplication has been executed first, and then addition has been executed last. Operators and their bindings. The binding of the operator determines the orders of computation performed by some operators with equal priority. So the binding of an operator determines how their computations when they are with other operators that have the same priority. Example, look at this. This is 9 modulus 6 modulus 2. Here, the operators have equal priority, are in the same hierarchy. When you come to the hierarchy of priorities, we can say they are on the same level. Now, here, in this operation, the binding will determine what will be executed first. There are two possible ways of evaluating this operation. You start with 9 modulus 6, it gives you 3. And then you do 3 modulus 2, it gives you 1. That is from left to right. You start from left going to right. And then there is from right to left. This will cause an error. When you move from right to left, it will give you an error. As you can see, 6 modulus 2 is 0, and 0 modulus 9 will cause an error. Okay, the operators and their bindings. We can try and run this code and see. That is 2 power 2 power 3. Let's see what answer it will give us. It has given us 256 as an answer. Yeah. There are two possible results here. That is 2 power 2, which is 4. And then 4 power 3, which is 64. And then there is 2 power 3, which is 8. And then 2 power 8, which is 256. When you run, we have run the code and it has given us 256. So it is clear that exponential operators use right-sided binding to perform the operations. They perform the operations from right to left. that is exponential. But as we have seen, modulus performs operation using left-sided binding from left to right. Now, this is the list of priorities. When you have an arithmetic operation like this, what do you execute first? Okay, how will it be computed? What will be executed first? Now this is the order of priorities from the highest to the lowest. As you can see, we start with exponential. The power has the highest priority. So if your operation or your calculation or your sum, or okay, let's say your variable, your calculation has an exponential, it will be executed first. And then there is unary operators. Unary operators are -2, -4, -10, or +2, +4, +10. That comes second after exponential. And then after that, there is multiplication. Then after multiplication, there is division or integer division, or we can call it floor division. And then there is modulus. This is executed after the unary operators are executed. And then after that, there is binary operators, that is plus and negative and minus, sorry. Note, we've enumerated the operators in order from the highest to the lowest priority. So this is the highest priority, which is the exponential priority. And then the lowest priority is subtraction, the negative. Operators and parentheses. Of course, you are allowed to have parentheses in your operators. In accordance with arithmetic rules, sub-expression in parentheses are always calculated first. Yes, sorry, expression is the word I was looking for. If you have an expression, this is an example of an expression. And what is in the brackets is an example of a sub-expression. So according to Python, sub-expressions are executed first. So here Python will execute 25 modulus 13, and then it will execute 2 times 13. And then after that, it will execute this 100 plus the answer it has gotten here, like that, until it finishes all these parentheses. So after executing this, it will go to multiplication because of this hierarchy. Multiplication comes first, then division. So it will do multiplication. Then after multiplication, it will have finished this the sub-expressions in this parenthesis. And then after that, it will perform now division. It will perform division here. The answer it has gotten from this divided by the answer it will have gotten from this. And then after that, now it will perform this integer division here. I hope you understand what I mean. I hope you are getting what I mean. So here, it will start with the multiplication, and then after multiplication, it will do the modulus calculation. As you can see here, multiplication comes first, and then modulus is the last one. Okay, key takeaways. An expression is a combination of values which evaluates to a certain value. For example, 1 plus 2 will be 3. Now that is an expression. This is also an expression, sorry. This is also an expression here. Operators are special symbols or keywords which are able to operate on the value and perform mathematical operations. For example, multiplication, x times y. So the operator here is the multiplication sign. Arithmetic operators in Python are addition, subtraction, multiplication, which returns a float, modulus, which returns the remainder of what it is dividing, and then there is the floor or integer division, which returns an integer when you divide an integer you divided by an integer. A unary operator is an operator with only one operand, for example, -1 or +3. This is just a recap of what we did. I hope you remember. A binary operator is like this. This is an example of a binary operator, 4 plus 5, or this 12 modulus 5. Okay, this is just the hierarchy of priorities. We have gone through this, and then we have said parentheses are always calculated first. And then we have said exponential uses right side binding. It operates from the right side to the left side, and not the other way around, as most operators do. Okay, let's go on. Let's now go into variables. What are variables? It seems fairly obviously that Python should allow you to encode literals and carrying numbers and text. You already know that you can do some arithmetic operations with these numbers, e.g. add, subtract, etc. But it's quite normal to ask how you're going to store the results. We all know that variables are used to hold something. For example, you have a number 2. Where will you place it? Now you will place it in something called a variable. Okay, we can say that Python offers you help. It helps you store your results or store something. It offers special boxes or containers for that purpose, and these boxes are called variables. So Python offers boxes called variables that help you store results or store values. Variables change. As the name suggests, they are varied. They can be anything. What does every Python variable have? 1, a variable has a name, and 2, a variable has a value. So a variable has a name, what it's called, and its value. What is the content of the container? Okay, now rules to follow so that you can give a variable a name. 1, the variable name must be composed of uppercase or lowercase letters, digits, and the character underscore. So if you want to write a variable name, the variable name should maybe use an uppercase letter or a lowercase letter or digits or the character underscore. Number 2, the name of the variable must begin with a letter. The name of the variable must begin with a letter. The underscore character is a letter. So this underscore character here is taken as a letter when it comes to naming variables. Upper and lowercase letters are treated as different. So when you name a variable using uppercase letters, that it will be treated as a different variable as to when you use lowercase letter. For example, here we have been given the example of Alice and Alice. As you can see, this Alice is lowercase and this Alice is uppercase. When you come to Python, these are very two different words. The name of the variable must not be any Python reserved word. So the variable name should not be a Python keyword. We will see, okay, we will try and see that when you use a keyword, Python throws an error and tells you that you have used a keyword and you can't use that keyword to name your variable. Okay, correct and incorrect variable names. Here are some correct variable names. An example of a variable names can be my variable. This name is so long that it will make make mistakes with it. So you can use a very long name, but it is not advisable. There is this, there is this, there is this. Okay. Some incorrect names are these 10T. A variable cannot begin with a letter or exchange rate. It has a space in between. A variable cannot contain a space. Note, variable names should be lowercase with words separated by underscores to improve readability. So these are just guidelines for Python. You can use an uppercase letter, but Python recommends that you use lowercase letters and it should be separated by underscore to improve readability. Like you have seen, I have had a struggle in reading this because it is so long and it hasn't been separated with underscores. So it is a bit confusing. The function names follow the same convention as variable. So if you want to name a function, you will follow the same rules that we have just right now defined well, naming a variable. Those are just the same rules that you will use when naming your function. It is also possible to use mixed cases. For example, you can use uppercase and lowercase to name a variable, like here. Okay, some keywords that you can't use to name your variable are examples of these keywords are false, none, true, and, as, assert, break, class. If you use any of these keywords, Python will draw an error and tell you that you have used a keyword to name your variable. Okay, the meaning of keywords are just reserved words. These words are reserved for something and they cannot change in any way. So, fortunately, due to the fact that Python is sensitive, you can modify any of these words by changing the case of the letter, thus creating a new word which is not reserved anymore. So for example, you want to name your variable class. We have seen class is a keyword, but you want to use class to name your variable. You can use capital C in the class and it will change that keyword. And now you can use it as a variable because the class with a capital C is not a reserved word. It's the class with which is lowercase. With a C which is lowercase. For example, you can't name your variable import. This is a reserved word, but you can name your variable import with a capital I. This is not reserved. Creating variables. You can put anything inside a variable. An example of a variable is this. Var is equals to 1. So here we have put the value 1 inside var. When you print var, it will give you 1. Okay, using variables. You are allowed to use as many variable declarations as you need to achieve your goal, like this. You are allowed to use as many variables as you want to achieve your goal. For example, here we have used the first variable and gave it 1. We have used account balance and gave it 1,000. We have used client name, John Doe. Now you can print this. You can print var account balance client name. It will print what is inside the variable. Here it will be 1, account balance will be 1,000, and client name will be John Doe. You are not allowed to use a variable which doesn't exist. In other words, you can't use a variable that doesn't exist. For example, here we have var with 1, which is which has a small v. But when we print it, we print var with a capital V. Python will throw an error and tell you that you have not defined your variable. Remember, you can use print function to combine text and variables using the plus editor. If you want to concatenate now, let's say you have, for example, here, we want to concatenate these two strings. This first string is stored in a variable var. You can just come and put a plus sign here and then put var. And the output will be this. Okay. Assigning a new value to an already existing variable. So we assign a new value to an already existing variable the same way we assign a value to a variable. And when you assign a new value to an already existing variable, the variable will take the value of the new value assigned. For example, here we have assigned var the value 1. If we print var, it will give us 1. But when we come here and say var plus 1 is equals to var, we have assigned var the value var plus 1. So the value of var has changed. It will now be 2. When we print var again, it will give us 2. I want you to understand this, that when you assign a variable a new value, the variable will take the value of the new value assigned to it. For example, I have a variable cat, and then I assign yellow cat, and then I change the variable cat, and then I assign it white cat. When I print the cat variable again, it will give me white cat because that is what I assigned to it recently. I hope you get what I mean. The first line here creates a variable 1 and creates a variable var and assigns it the value 1. And then the statement reads, assign a value 1 to the variable var. Some prefer to say, okay. The third line assigns the same variable with a new value taken from the variable itself summed with 1. So the third line here assigns the variable to assigns a new value to the variable. So another example is here. We have assigned var the value 100. And then we have also assigned var the value 200 plus 300. When you print this var, it will give you the value assigned by here, assigned here, 200 plus 300. Let's check. It will give you 500. So you can see the answer is 500. Okay. We can try to solve this. Okay, we can just run this and see. As you can see here, A is assigned 3.0, B is assigned 4.0, and here C is equals to A exponential 2 plus B exponential 2. And then it is in parentheses, and then there is also exponential 0.5. Print C is equals to C. Let us run and see what the value of C will be. The value of C will be 5.0. As we have seen in the previous pages, that here whatever is in the parentheses will be executed first, and the exponential will be executed also first, and then the addition will be executed last here when it comes to this. Okay. I want someone to share their screen so that we can try assigning of variables. Oluoch Kwame, can you hear me? I can't hear you if you're speaking. I still can't hear you. I can just see you muting and unmuting your microphone. Okay, Faith, if you can hear me, are you in a position to share your screen so that we can do this practical? Okay, Oluoch, it's fine. Faith, can you share your screen? Okay, let me do it. No, I will give you an assignment. You will go and do it, and you will send me the assignment. And by the way, you did not send me the assignments I told you to send. Okay, Faith, okay. So, I told you to send, there was an assignment I gave you and told you to send it to me, but you didn't do it. I expected you to do it and send it to me. Kindly do it and send it to me before Thursday. I want to see your screenshots of your created variables, your screenshots of your expressions, which are kind of mixed. Yes, I want to see all those assignments done yes, I want to see that assignment done and your screenshots. So there's something in Python we call shortcut operators. So for example, we have something like this: x is equals to x times 2. You can use, instead of writing this long statement, you can write it like this: x times is equals to this. X times is equals to is the same as x is equals to x times 2. Or if you have something like sheep is equals to sheep plus 1, you can write something like sheep plus is equals 1. If you write this, it will be the same as this. I also need you to practice this. This knowledge comes by practice. The more you practice, you will know how to use this. But the first steps are normally confusing, but the more you use it, the more you get to understand it. Okay, so let's try to present it in a general way. If op is a two-argument operator, that is a very important condition. So if it is a two-argument operator, it is supposed to be a two-argument operator for it to work. And the operator is used in the following context. Variable is equals to variable op expression. It can be simplified as variable op is equals expression. So this variable will come first, and then the op will come before the equal sign, and then the expression will come after the equal sign, like this. We can also try and do this one. As you can see, I is equals to I plus 2 times j. So here, this plus will come before the equal sign. So it will be I plus equals 2 times j. Here it will be variable is equals to variable divided by 2. So it will be variable divided by is equals to 2, like this. Let's try this. J is equals to j minus I var minus I plus var plus remainder. So here it will be j is equals to j minus is equals to I plus var plus remainder. This is also exponential. The exponential will also give us the same thing. X is equals to x exponential 2. It will be x exponential is equals to 2, like this. Okay. I can do this lab for you. Okay, we can do this lab. Or I don't want you to be lazy. I want to give you an assignment, and I want you people to do it so that you understand. So because everyone here has an account in edube.org, kindly do this lab also, so that you understand the operators that we've just learned. You understand how to simplify the operations. If anyone has a problem, you kindly reach out to me and I will help you to solve that problem. But please do it. And then in the next lesson, I will come and do this specific lab with you people. I want you first to try it. The reason why we haven't done it today is because none of you can share their screens. But if you could, we could do it. Okay, let's go on. So, okay. Let's do this. Let's do this lab. The estimated time is 10 to 15 minutes. The level is easy. Objectives: to become familiar with the concept of numbers operators and arithmetic operators in Python. To perform basic calculations. Take a look at the editor. It reads float x. So here, this means that you are turning this x variable to a float value, to a float data type, sorry, not value, to a float data type, as seen here. So we are supposed our task is to complete the code in order to evaluate the following expression. This expression. We have x. The result should be assigned to y. Remember that classical algebra notation likes to omit the multiplication operator. You need to use it explicitly. Note how we change the data type to make sure X is a float. As I have said, this is used to change X to float data type. So we are supposed to try with this sample data. Expected output should be -1, 3, and -9. So let's try. Here we have this. We can say y is equals to that. And then we say x is equals to 0 here. The first x is equals to 0. And since this is x power 3, okay, 3x power 3, we will change this to exponential 3. And here it is, sorry, I'm using capital. Okay, and here it is 2x power 2. We will change this to exponential 2. Now we can run this code, sorry. Can try and run this and see what it gives us. Okay, it has thrown an error. Let me see. It has given me invalid syntax. Let's try and see if it will work. Okay, I don't know why it keeps throwing an error. Okay. Okay, let's write the code again. So here, if x is equal to 0, y will be equal to 3. 3, 0. But you're not supposed to do this. I'm doing this because it's throwing an error. I will later go and see why it is giving me an error. It's supposed to be a variable instead of 3. Okay. Yes. So it has told me int object is not callable. That means we are supposed to change this int to float. So let me write it again. Here we have said x is equals to 0. So, and x, and here we change our x to float x, and then we do y is equals to 3x exponential. Yes, it has given us an answer. Okay, I haven't printed the answer. Let me print the answer now. I have understood where the error was. Negative 0.1. So here, the error was here. You can see how I have written 3 times x. You can't write 3x. It won't know what 3x means. It will say that you're trying to concatenate. But now if you write it like this, it will know that you're telling it to multiply 3 and the value stored in x, and it will give you an answer. Okay, let me do it again with the 1, and then your assignment will be to do it with negative 1. Let me change my x value here to 1. And then I run the code. It has given us 25. Okay. It has given us 25. So I expect you to do the rest. So here they say the expected output is supposed to be 3. I think they might be having an error in their calculations because we have done what they have done. Okay, we have done what they have done. Let us try the last one and see. If it gives us an error, then it is us who are wrong. Let us run. Okay, it has given us totally different things. I will go and check why it is giving me like this, but I think we have done the correct thing because the first one has given us -1. So I will go and check. Also, you go and do it, and we check and see where we have gone wrong, or if it is them they are wrong. Maybe it is them, maybe it is us. I will go and try it and see, because this is power 3 minus this is power 2, supposed to be like that. Oh, okay. Or we can try and do it hard coded. Okay, let me see. Let me try and do it with a calculator and see the answer it will give me, and then tell you. So when I do it with the calculator, I get 1. So we have an error around here. I will go and check and come and tell you the answer. Also, you try to do it and see where we have gone wrong. But wait, 3 times 1 is 3, right? 3 to the power 3. 3 times 1 is 3, and 3 to the power 3, we get, let me see. We get 27. Oh, yes, we get 27. Yes, I think I did it wrongly the first time. Let me try it again and see. Oh, yes, I know where we have gone wrong. Let me correct it. So here is where we have gone wrong. 3 times x power 3 minus 2 times x to the power 2 plus 3 times x minus 1. Yes. Let's try this and see if it will give us the answer that we are looking for. If it doesn't, I'll go and research. It has given us 3, so that is not the answer. Okay, I will go and research and see who is wrong here. Okay, let's move on. So key takeaways: there is a variable, a named location reserved to store values in the memory. That is a variable. It is used to store values. And then each variable must have a unique name, an identifier. So an identifier is the name of your variable. The unique name that you call your variable is called an identifier. Then we have Python is a dynamically typed language, which means you don't need to declare variables in it. You don't, for example, if you have used C, you will find that you declare it by int. For example, you are declaring a variable, you have to start with int cat is equals to 2, or float, something like that. Int cat is equals to 5. You can also use compound assignment variables. What we are doing, that var plus is equals to 1, or this var divide is equals to 5 times 2. Okay, you can combine text and variables using the plus operator and use the print function to output the string. So if you want to combine, to concatenate, or to combine text with a variable, you use the plus operator like this. So here, what is the output of the following snippet? We have said the first one is 2, but when you assign it again, it will take the value of the second variable. So the output will be 3. Which of the following variable names are illegal in Python? My variable, my var, that is legal. M is legal. 101 is illegal. A very long variable name is legal. This is legal. This is illegal. And then here, the del keyword. I think this is the keyword and it's illegal, and this is legal. Legal, it is not illegal. Let's check. Yes, as you can see, my var is legal, M is legal, 101 is illegal. This one has a space, so it is illegal. This one is a keyword, so it is illegal. So here, what will be the output of the following code snippet? String of A is 1, B is 1. I think it will be 1, 1. Let's check. Yes. What will be the output of the following code? A is equals to 6, B is equals to 3. A is equal to divide by 2. So it will be 6 divided by 2, which is 3, and then 3 times 3 is 9. So I think A is 9. Sorry about that. Let's check. It's 1. Wait. Why is it 1? A is 6, and this is 6 divided by 2. So 6 divided by 2 is 3. And 3 times 2. Oh, okay. Yes, I have understood. Sorry. The order of operations applies here. So it will be 2 times B, which is 3. Sorry. I got confused a bit. It will be 2 times 3, 2 times B, which is 3, and then it will be 6 divided by A, which is 6. So the answer will be 1. Yes. Sorry. I was a bit confused over there. Yes. So here we use the order of operations, as we have seen. Okay. Leaving comments in a code. When you comment your code, it makes it easier for someone to read your code. For example, here, this is a test program. This is a comment. You comment a code by using the hash sign before your comment, and a comment explains more about a code. We have all written comments because here we have all done programming. It is so hard for you to debug a code without a comment. For example, you have been given a code to run, or you have been given a code to debug. It is so hard for you to debug that code if you don't have comments in that code. And this is a good example of a comment. This is also a comment. Anywhere we see hash, it is a comment. A comment tells us more about our program. For example, here, this program evaluates the hypotenuse C. And here, A and B are the lengths of the legs of the triangle. So we know that from this comment, we are able to tell that A is 3. One leg of the triangle is 3, sorry, and the other leg is 4, as we have seen, because of this comment. Then here we get A power 2, and then B power 2, B squared, A squared, and B squared, and then power 0.5. These are exponential power. We use star instead of square root. What does this mean? We use star instead of square root. We use star instead of square root, okay? I don't know what this means, but this is supposed to be exponential, or this is how we write power. So I really don't know what this comment means. Maybe I go and research more about it. Okay. Print C. So here, for example, if a particular variable is designed to store an area of some unique square, then the name will be square area. Okay. This is a comment. This is an example of a comment. Comments may be useful in another aspect. You can use them to mark a piece of code that is currently unneeded, or it is not needed. And then when you need it, you uncomment it. For example, here, this code y is equals to y plus x is not needed. So you comment it, and then you run your code. When you run your code, the compiler doesn't run the comments. So when you run this code, this comment here won't be run. You will just have x and y, that is 1 plus 2, which is 3. So this is an example of a lab. It has so many comments. Let us run and see if this will run the comments. If when running the code, the comments will also run. As you can see, the comments have been ignored. They have not been run. We only have the number of hours, which is 2. Yeah, A is equals to 2, and we have printed A. So key takeaways. Comments can be used to leave additional information in code. That we have said. If you want to place a comment that spans several lines, you need to place the hash sign in front of them all. For example, here, this is a program. This program prints an introduction to the screen. As you can see, we have several comments here, and before each comment, we have placed hash, the hash sign, as seen here. Whenever possible and justified, you should Give self-commenting names to variables. E.g., if you have two variables that stores the length and width of something, you should name them length and width. For example, you have two variables like x and y, and x stores the length and y stores the width. We should comment the x as the length, and you should also comment the y as the width. This makes it easier when it comes to debugging of your code. It's important to use comments to make programs easier to understand and to use readable and meaningful variable names in the code. For example, if you have a length, instead of using x, just write length is equals to 10 instead of x is equals to 10. This makes your code easy to understand. So, what is the output of the following snippet? It will be string #2. This will be the output because this is commented. Let's check. Yes. What happens if you run the following code? It will give us an error because we have said you are supposed to comment if you have multiple comments. If you have multiple lines that have comments, you're supposed to comment at the beginning of every line that contains your comment. Let's see. Yes, syntax error. Okay, today we will end there. This chapter is very long, by the way. So, or you can just do the input function also, though we will have to then take a break for 10 minutes and then come back and do the input function. What do you say? What do you think? Should we continue? Okay, if you have any questions, kindly ask. Okay, since there are no questions, thank you for coming to the lesson. And also, Faith, have a good clinic. See you on Saturday. Please come with your assignments done, and also let's go and research on that that quadratic expression. Let's go and check and see where we are getting that error from. Yes, thank you for coming. Thank you for attending the class. See you on Saturday. And kindly send me your assignments by Thursday. Yes. And also kindly go through the input function because we won't do it today. Please go through the input function and finish this module, and also do the tests after the module. I will see you on Saturday.